Dearly beloveds, we are gathered here today to honor Barbara Ann McCauley. May we all take this moment together to remember and appreciate who she was in our lives and the relationships that we shared here on earth. Moving forward, it is my hope that we may keep her love, essence, and spirit alive in our hearts and memories. Like the natural flow of untamed water, so was her spirit, and so shall it continue to flow in her own natural beauty, no longer in this life here on earth, but in heaven. Let us also attempt not to grieve or mourn today, but to remember and celebrate Barbara's life, as I believe she would appreciate that as well. It is natural to be sad today because, in a practical sense, Barbara is no longer a part of our physical lives. But as children of God, we understand that her life is much more than just what we have experienced here on earth, and that we will be together again in heaven. Today, may we all discover and bring consolation to one another and to those of Barbara's family and friends. Some gathered here with us in person, and others that are gathered here in spirit and felt through prayer. I would like to keep this ceremony as natural, simple, and intimate as possible, as I believe Barbara would want that. May we take this time here together to remember who Barbara was and what she taught us by the way she lived her life. Her life began a creation of God when she was born at Otis Air Force Base in Massachusetts. Grandma Joan remembered that everyone said she was just too beautiful and perfect for words. She was baptized at the Episcopal Church in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Her Aunt Laura, Janie, and family were all there. She was born a daughter to Jim McCallan and Joan Massey. Soon after, she became a sister with the birth of Linda. This sisterhood grew exponentially when Susan was added. Barbara didn't stop at just being a sister. She became a wife to Jim McCauley. And it was this love that led to a miraculous event when she became a mother. What an amazing accomplishment this was, to grow the body of Christ by bringing Sean, and to continue in God's creation and the growing in the children of God by bringing Rhiannon into this world and participating in the labors of motherhood. A mother is a role a woman never outgrows. A mother is strong and overcomes adversity. I will always remember my Aunt Barbara's positive nature that helped her to overcome adversity. I especially remember and realize even more now her amazing ability to live under God's provision. To some it may seem like she didn't have much, but to her, she was happy to give whatever she had. One day, when she was a little girl, my Grandma Joan realized some of her shoes and dresses were missing. She later discovered that Barbara had taken them for a little girl who had old clothes. She also took a little blind girl as a friend at school and helped her all the time. A few more things that my Grandma Joan shared. She had a beautiful voice. She had a solo as an angel in the school play. She was a good little artist. She loved nature. She loved having picnics in the sand dunes with her dad and all the seagulls at the ocean. She loved fishing and camping. She loved riding horses at the beach and her little beagle dog named Voodoo. She always loved animals. She loved boats, particularly one named Sharkbait that she used to take out with Grandpa Jim. She wouldn't pass up an opportunity for an adventure, even on a little rubber raft. I also wanted to share a few words from my Aunt Linda, her sister. She's in Florida right now. I miss Barbara's kind words and smile criticized, corrected. Excuse me. I miss Barbara's kind words and smile. She never criticized, corrected. She counseled me. She only tried to counsel or fix me. Or she never tried to counsel or fix me. Excuse me. Sorry, Linda. What I will... She would only tell me, I understand, and it will be okay. That's what I will miss the most. She would always make me feel better, and I miss my big sister and talking with her. She also wrote, I wanted to walk you up the stairs to heaven's gate, but I have to wait. I'm coming too to see Jesus and you. I'll just be a little late. I have faith in the heavenly hope of an endless era of sisters that really are forever in the Lord's realm. Our time here is short, but the Lord's love is constant and sure is eternal. We swam far out in the ocean in Florida. We made sand castles with crayons for colors. Barb and Sue made pretty hemp jewelry, and we would ask the electrical people on the poles for colored wire to make jewelry. Aunt Linda and Grandma Joan and I know you couldn't be here today, so we send our love to you there in Florida. I also realized lately the way Aunt Barbara never complained that things were too difficult or that life was too hard for her. Even when her health faded and her strength began to flee her body, she did not complain or seek pity. Instead, she remained strong and chose to be pleasant, especially in the way she spoke. I remember when my mom and I came just a few months ago to visit, some of our last conversations she had with me. She wasn't angry or upset. She wasn't very strong physically, but her spirit was. She just reflected love with her calm nature. That to me is the strength and love of a mother and a way to recognize God's power that is available within each one of us. To most of us, it would be hard to find God's strength when we feel so weak, but to Aunt Barbara, it seemed to come naturally, just like the flow of ever-sustaining water, like the natural stream here on the property. God's life and love flowed through her to each one of us. Barbara was never a burden to us, but only a continuously ever-flowing blessing with her calm, practical, giving nature. God's provision always seemed to be enough for Barbara, and His grace also was sufficient. May we all recognize these traits today, and may my Aunt Barbara live on in my life, and her love continue to flow in all of our lives, a true child of the Most High God, a loving sister, an incredible wife, a strong mother, a friend, a lover of nature and animals, and a beautiful picture of God's love and provision which sustains us all. Just like the flow of untamed water that was here before she entered the earth, so shall it continue undisturbed into eternity. Barbara could recognize God's unforced rhythm and beauty through nature, particularly right here in this place. And so it is here that we gather to lay her remains into this land that she loved as she watches from the heavens above. She is still with us, but also she is waiting for us to return home, to be reunited with her and our Creator. Mom, would you like to read a poem?
I wrote this the day after Barbara went to heaven. Barbara. Wind through a feather, a leaf falling from the sky. I see things different since you left on high. In my heart there is a great sigh. Tears run down my cheek as in my mind I cry. On to be with Jesus, see the angels fly. This victory you have, nothing can defy. You fought the good fight, this is no lie. You gave it your all, you surely did try. You left us anyway, though, we don't know why. Just knowing you're with Jesus is peace enough to satisfy. And of his goodness and grace we'll continue to testify. So for now, we'll remember you in a familiar lullaby, in the flight of a butterfly or the sound of a hawk's cry, until surely by and by we're holding hands in the place where there are no more tears to cry.
Moments tend to slip away from us pretty quickly. I thought it'd be nice, since we're all here gathered together, maybe we could just enjoy a quick song. I think Barbara would appreciate. It's actually a psalm, Psalm 39, sung by a particularly good band, Third Day. I know Barbara spent a fair amount of time here, and yeah, maybe we can all just quietly enjoy each other's company and reflect on a few things, and then we'll lay her remains to rest.